Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center Tuesday night virtual experience. I'm Dr. Zeb, and it's good to see you tonight, and certainly praying that you've had a tremendous week so far and a blessed week. It has been a very busy week again for me, but such is always the case. And it's good to be with you tonight. Listen, I've got to get right into this teaching. I got a promise to keep with my kids, which means I'm going to be off of here tonight in 35 minutes. Y'all not get me in trouble with my kids again. For being late last time, like I was last time, fooling with y'all. But I'm so excited to be here tonight, and I've got a powerful message to share with you tonight. And so I need you to do me a favor. Let's get to sharing. I don't even have time to go through all of the networks tonight. I just need you on whatever network you're in. Let's just go through the whole roll call. Whatever network you are on, you are in. I need you to like, share this video. I need you to share it with your friends. I need you to hit that @ symbol. I need you to tag 5 people and tell them to tune in tonight because this is going to be a powerful message, a very different topic, but I think one that is going to bless you in a tremendous way. So again, I need you to tag, share this video with 5 people right now. Hit the @ symbol, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in on all of those networks. Now, again, I need you to hit that share button. I need you to like this video. I need you to heart this video. I need you to hit that @ symbol because I'm getting ready to start teaching in 30 seconds. I've got to get through this tonight. I've got to honor my commitment to my children. And I'm grateful to be here with you tonight. Can't wait to talk about the secret power of being misunderstood. And I got a feeling I'm not going to get through all of this, but I'm going to try my best. This is a powerful message. And this message really tonight, as you're coming in the room, I see many of you saying good evening to all of you. As you're coming in the room tonight, let me say this to you. What makes this message so powerful is that it really speaks to the heart of creatives. It speaks to the heart of thinkers. It speaks to the heart of those folks who love people, but you kind of antisocial. It speaks to all of you. And this is going to be a powerful message. It is. And I cannot wait to get into it. It's going to make sense in just a moment. And so come on in and say good evening. Now I need to see more of you hitting that @ symbol and inviting people. Come on, our numbers are low. And by the time people jump on, I'm literally going to be out of here tonight. I've got to do and honor my word tonight. So I need y'all to help me help you tonight while you helping me. So let's get going. I need you again. Hit that @ symbol, tag 5 people now because we got to get started. And I got to hop out of here and see to my kids in now 30 minutes. All right, so we got to move. All right. I love you guys. I'm so grateful to be here and certainly praying that all of you have had a tremendous week so far, and just grateful again to be with you tonight on a Tuesday night, a nice Tuesday evening, and certainly again pray that you had a tremendous week all week long, though it's just Tuesday, that you've had a blessed week so far. So again, thank you so much. Thank you again. Our virtual visitors that have retuned in tonight. A few of you I see popping in. So good to see you again tonight. And I hope this message blesses you. Let's get into this. I'm talking from the subject, the secret power of being misunderstood. And I got 25 minutes to get into this. The secret power of being misunderstood. And I want to say from the start that this is a powerful message because what this message really deals with, if I can be frank with you, what this message really deals with is really understanding who you are and being comfortable in your own skin. All right. It really deals with understanding who you are and being comfortable in your own skin. And one of the challenges that I am finding with people in general, take church out of it. I'm talking to you in general terms as you're hitting that @ symbol and tagging 5 people. One of the things that I'm finding wrong with people in general is people have a hard time just being comfortable in their own skin. They just do. And there's so many people who spend so much energy, and I mean an absurd amount of energy, trying to please people, trying to get people to understand them, trying to get people, to approve them. And in the process of doing that, they lose sight really of their greatness, who they are, who they've been designed to be. And so I want to just say off the bat that if you are one of those people who spend a lot of energy trying to make people understand you, this message is going to really make you mad. Like it's going to annoy you. These points I'm going to give you are really going to annoy you and agitate you. This message is not for people who have an appetite for making people understand them, like them, want to accept them. This just ain't for you. My third book was a book called 7 Traits of a Trailblazer. And I got a request late last week for that book to be keynoted on a keynote presentation that I've got to do in a couple of weeks. And I'm excited to share this book with over 300 students. What's powerful about the book, though, is it really talks about how trailblazers and people who blaze trails do things differently, are creatives, are thinkers, are visionaries, really don't care what people think about them. And there has to be an element of blazing the trail if you ever are going to truly be what you've been designed to be and be comfortable in that, right? Because where the comfort comes in is not people understanding you. Where the comfort comes in is you being okay with who you've been called to be. The minute y'all hear me and hear me in love, I know I ain't gonna have time. My time is ticking, and this thing is getting good to me because I'm really preaching to myself tonight. And I'm trying to help some of y'all that maybe even know Pastor, understand Pastor. The powerful thing about being comfortable in who you've been called to be is that you hit the sweet spot when you do things to please yourself and to please God, and you less interested in what people think. You in the sweet spot of being a trailblazer, being who you've been called to be, when you just don't spend a whole lot of time trying to convince folks of who you are, trying to convince people of your purpose, trying to do things to make people approve you and approve your purpose. You ain't got time for that when you're comfortable in your purpose. And so I want to say this to you, that there is a huge first bullet point tonight, first note, there is a huge connection between capacity and understanding, right? And I want to explain this quickly. There's a huge connection between your capacity and the capacity you carry and understanding. Capacity meaning when you know what you carry, when you know your capabilities, when you know your abilities, then you know where you belong and you know where you don't belong. It's important. When you know what you carry, when you know your abilities, when you know your capabilities, when you know your purpose, and you're going to hear me saying this word purpose a lot tonight. When you know your purpose and what it is that you carry, you know where you belong and you know where you don't belong. And this is really important because when you know your purpose, you know where you fit, where you don't fit. And because you know your purpose, attached to knowing your purpose is also being okay, knowing the spaces you fit and knowing the spaces you don't fit. I'm going to use me as an example a lot tonight because I don't want to offend anybody else. So let me just use me. I was sharing with a member last week or week before last on a Zoom call. We were talking and I was sharing some things with her. And one of the things, that I, said to her was, I'll never be a convocation circuit preacher. Never. Not because I can't. I can get on a convocation circuit. I can hold my ears and squall and scream, I think, with the best of them. I can do that. But the reality is that ain't my purpose. My purpose ain't to be on some glossy church flyer every other week on a convocation circuit, preaching to folks with big hats and long stockings in convocations and meetings. That's just not it ain't my calling. And it doesn't mean I'm less anointed. It just means I know my lane. And when you know your lane and know your purpose, then you okay where you fit and you okay where you ain't. And this is important. When you know where you fit and where you ain't, you don't criticize people who fit in that arena. I've got colleagues and friends. They were made for the convocation circuit and they doing great. You don't criticize people who belong in that lane, but at the same token, don't y'all criticize me because I don't belong in that lane and want to be in it. Right? So part of being comfortable in your lane is knowing where you belong and knowing where you don't belong, and being comfortable with what you've been called to be and being comfortable with what you ain't being called to be. Right? And so this connection between what you carry or your purpose and where you belong is huge. When you know your purpose, you know where you belong. And I want you to forget that. When you know your purpose, you know where you belong. When you know your purpose, you know where you don't belong. When you know your purpose, you know where you fit. When you know your purpose, you know where you don't fit. Right? This all works together. And then part of embracing your purpose for real is you've embraced your purpose when you are in spaces where you don't fit and you had no desire to be there just to try to fit. I'll say that again, that was a mouthful. You know you have embraced your purpose when you are in circles or in spaces where you don't fit, but instead of you desiring to fit so you can just fit in, you good with not fitting. In other words, you good with not being invited to the convocation circuit because that don't belong to you no way. You good with not being invited out to eat with this same circle of folks that hang out because you know your circle and influence is bigger than that anyway. This is being comfortable in your purpose. And people really struggle with this. In this society that we live in this validation-driven society that we live in, where y'all post for likes, you put up pictures so people will like you, you put up change relationship statuses so people will think you got it going on. In this validation-driven society that we're in, this message right here sticks out like a sore thumb. Most people would rather be understood than be misunderstood. Most people would rather be understood and not be on their purpose than be misunderstood and doing what they called to do. People criticize, I even had people try to sideways, come at me about the church name. And I don't have time to really go through the history tonight. I may end up doing a part 2. I think I'm going to do a part 2 next Tuesday because I just don't have time tonight, y'all. Y'all can't get me in trouble with my kids again tonight. I'm sorry. But let me just say this. I remember when God gave me the name Rehab, and I've shared this story, especially when we were in the building many times. When God gave me the name Rehab, it was not the original church name that I thought I wanted. It was some glossy name that didn't have nothing to do with the purpose that God gave me for church. It just had nothing to do with it. But I remember when the name started getting out and people started hearing the name, people had, jokes. Oh, Rehab. What kind of name is a name Rehab? That didn't shake me. The church name that God gave me wasn't supposed to make sense to you unless you've been called to it. And if you ain't been called to it, it ain't supposed to make sense. And so we mess up when we fail to realize that our purpose don't belong to nobody but us. Your purpose, who you've been called to be, what you've been called to do, the lane you've been called to drive in, don't belong to nobody but you. And the minute you try to make people understand your purpose is the minute you're going to be in a place where you're more focused on being understood than walking in your purpose. I ain't trying to make no Negroes nowhere understand what I've been called to do. I ain't trying to make no Negroes nowhere understand what my purpose being. And I'm going to just give y'all a preview. The purpose that God has assigned on my life is far greater than what some people see in most traditional churches. And when it really hit the fan, it's going to shock some of y'all. And you know what? I wrestled with it for a minute, but now I'm at a place like, listen, I know my purpose is blazing trails and being in spaces that's just non-traditional. I don't care what none of y'all think. If you don't like it, go to the First Baptist Church that's right around your corner. And that ain't arrogance. That ain't being rude. That's just telling you I'm not about to change my purpose so you understand it. And that's the problem with this generation. This generation is so into validation. Y'all got to be validated. It's so crazy. I'm in the business of coaching and teaching millennials and Gen Z. My research is in it. And I can't tell you the number of young people I talk to who literally will take down a picture. They posted a picture. It's been up for 2 hours. They got 30 likes. It ain't enough. They take it down. Why you need validation? What you need validation for? Who you trying to get validated by? And see, that's the problem. When your purpose is connected to validation, you will never amount to nothing. I said it. I meant it. I don't care who you don't like it. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think your purpose is. When your purpose is connected to people understanding, when your purpose is connected to people validate, yeah, I get that. I see that. That makes sense to me. If you need people to say stuff like, yeah, I get that. Or if you need people to say stuff like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Or you need people to say stuff like, yeah, I would do that too. You're not walking in your purpose. You're looking for validation. You need a hand clap. I ain't even got the flyer. I wish I had a copy of the flyer. Go to our website. It's there. When I created that flyer, I had our designer create a flyer that had a thug looking dude on there with no shirt on. And a lady on there half naked dressed, and another lady on there with a convocation hat on, and another single mother in there as a church flyer. Negroes was laughing at me. What kind of church flyer is this? Where the church building at? Where the steeple at? Where the cross? That's your problem. That's your purpose. It ain't mine. So when you get comfortable in your skin, you don't mind stepping out in what your purpose is, and you can let people either get with it or they can kick rocks. And this topic tonight really resonates with me, because I'm telling you, when you got your purpose and you are a trailblazer, hear me, I need y'all to record this. When you know your purpose for real, and this is a part B, a part A and a part B. So that's part A. Part one, when you know your purpose for real. And part two, when your purpose is not like what people normally see, you're going to be misunderstood more than you understood. I'm going to say it again because that's a lot to type, but I need y'all to type it so the people watching the replay will catch it. When you, one, know your purpose, I ain't even got to look at my notes. I can teach this lesson tonight from here. When you, number one, know your purpose, and when two, your purpose goes off the grain of what people understand, you will be more misunderstood than you're ever understood. Period. When you know your purpose, and when your purpose goes off the grid of what's common, you will be misunderstood more than you're ever understood. I can't tell you the number of people that hit me up in my inbox when I was actively on social media. I'm still off for a little bit longer. That'll change soon. People will hit me up, church folks. These folks I don't even know. Hey, you're a pastor. I respect your work. I think you're doing great work. I just think you should post more scriptures. Go join that church. Go follow that pastor. There's a whole lot of pastors out here. All they doing is posting scriptures, but they scared to say the word sex. Go follow them. They out here posting a whole lot of scriptures, but they scared to say the word smash. Go follow them. They out here posting a whole lot of Bible verses, but they scared to have real conversations about real issues that people dealing with real life every single day. Go follow them. And that ain't an insult on them, but you can't insult what my purpose is either. And see, when you get comfortable in your purpose and your sweet spot, you don't care what people think about you. You don't care how people understand you. You could care less. And so I'm just saying, when you know your purpose for real, thank you, Elder, for that. When you know your purpose for real, and your purpose is that of a trailblazer, some of you have balked. Let me just go ahead and get in the spirit so some of y'all can get happy. Some of you have balked on business ideas because the business ideas you have are so in left field that you thinking in your mind, nobody will ever buy into it. But I'm here to tell you, a trailblazer never aborts their purpose because people don't get it. I'm going to say this again. A trailblazer never aborts their purpose because people don't get it. A trailblazer knows their purpose and says, either get with it or I'm going to keep doing it until somebody does. Y'all not talking back to me tonight. That's what a trailblazer does. A trailblazer could care less about an applause. A trailblazer could care less about creating a business, the same t-shirt business because everybody got it. No, come up with your niche. If your niche is to create t-shirts for cows, and you think there's a market for farmers to buy your t-shirts to put on cows, go out here and do it. Walk in your purpose and be man and woman enough to walk in your purpose and not need nobody's validation. See, trailblazers ain't scared about what you think. Trailblazers ain't thinking about what you understand. Trailblazers could care. And let me tell you something else trailblazers don't care about. Trailblazers don't care about what you say about them either. Yeah, this is going to be a part two. It's almost 7:30, and I ain't even got to my 3 points yet. Trailblazers could care less what you saying about them too. Because normally the way they thinking and the way you think are night and day. Normally you only thinking with one side of your brain, and trailblazers are thinking with the intellectual, visionary side of their brain. We not even in the same ballpark, sis. And so trailblazers don't waste a lot of time explaining themselves. Trailblazers don't waste a lot of time trying to make it make sense to you as it relates to their purpose. No, now they'll help you figure out your purpose, but they're not about to sit up there and try to describe their purpose to you. They know what their purpose is. They don't need no help. It's like God. They don't need no matches. Fire by himself. They don't need none of that. And so you know you a trailblazer for real. Right? This is why I admire people. I don't admire people I don't admire people who try to do things to try to seem unique. I admire people whose uniqueness is really a part of their purpose. I'm going to say that again. I don't admire people who try to do stuff to seem unique. I admire people whose uniqueness is true to their purpose. Like, you ain't out here trying to dress weird because you want to look unique and really want to fit in. No, your weird dress is really a part of your uniqueness. It's your style. It's your purpose. You ain't got to try to make it fit. It just is what it is. And so this is the secret power to being misunderstood, is that you embrace this purpose so strong that whether people with you or not, it don't even matter. You still good. You still flowing in your purpose. You still flowing in your calling. You still flowing in the direction that you've been led to be. And everything that you want is going to happen for you because you're not looking for an applause. You're looking for results. Trailblazers could care less who clapping. Look, let's just keep it 100 tonight. Our numbers soared through the roof. We started this in March. By May, June, our numbers soared through the roof. We had all kinds of visits. And guess what? The numbers start plummeting. Did it change me from teaching what I teach? Did it change me from sticking to the topics that I teach? Did it change me from addressing stuff that people won't address? No. I know my name. I don't need y'all to clap. I impact more people on accident than most people do on purpose. And you know why? That ain't an arrogant statement. It's a statement because I know what my purpose is. And when you know your purpose, you ain't worried about impact. You impacting people that most of the time you will never even meet. You impacting people. People are being blessed by what your purpose is a lot of times, and you'll never even meet them, know them, get to know them. That's when your purpose is real and your intentions is real behind your purpose. And so you don't switch up because of applause. You don't switch up because of who's showing up. You don't switch up because of who's supporting you and who ain't. Find your purpose and stay there. And when you do, success finds you. I'm going to say this to y'all because I feel like I'm in a good spot right now. I'm going to say this to y'all. If you want to see, I've already learned this. This is just March. We're in March, but the year is flying by. I've already learned in the last 62 days, 62, 63 days, that the way you're going to see success in your life for real this year and beyond, if COVID didn't teach you nothing else, the way you're going to see success is finding out what your purpose is, finding out what your desires are, finding out what your plans are, getting in that space and minding your business and functioning there until it work out. Stop bouncing everywhere. Stop shifting with the wind because people don't understand you. Stop changing up what your game plan is and what your design is and what your purpose is and what your path is because people don't get it or people got a problem with it. They can kick rocks with no socks on. Stop. Know what your purpose is. Get in your lane and flow in there because that's where authenticity is. That's where impact is. No, Rehab ain't got the largest church. We will never have the largest church. I ain't been called to pastor no mega church. I know my purpose. I've been called to pastor a church where people can come in the building and they don't even look like church. They don't feel like they belong in church, and they hear a word from a preacher in a way that makes sense to them, that literally moves them to tears to a point where they want to do something about their life. And it don't matter where they come from. They can have a PhD or a GED. My message gonna reach them. That's my purpose. I ain't tripping off of nothing else. See, y'all looking for an applause, and I'm looking for my purpose. No, I take that back. I found my purpose. I'm looking for places to execute my purpose, period. It might be in a building. It might not be in a building. It might be in a churchy looking building. It might be in a convention center. At the end of the day, as long as it's my purpose, I don't care what none of y'all Negroes think. And that's how you know you flowing in a place where you ain't got to be understood. You ain't got to be agreed with. You ain't got to do none of that. True story. I can't make this up. Me and my kids went by the church today. This is a true story. We went by the church today, and I went in the building, We ain't been in our building, aside from Sister Leslie's funeral, we have not been in our building since last March. This is a true story. I pulled up, kept the kids in the car. The doors were locked, the cars were running, they were in there on their iPads. I ran in the church. When I came back outside the church, probably about 5 or 6 minutes later, I came outside, and when I came out, there was a man walking across the parking lot. You could tell he had already walked past the direction of my car. My kids were sitting in there, they weren't tripping or whatever. I didn't know if he stopped by the car or not, but he walked by. When he saw me, he dropped his bag on the ground, pulled his mask down and said, hey, Rev. Now, beat up clothes on, whatever. He ran towards me, no big deal, was running. And I said, what's going on, man? He said, Pastor Talley. I said, yeah, man. I said, I've seen you from somewhere. He said, yeah, you know, I come to all y'all's outreach events all the time. This is true story. You can ask my kids. I'm not making this up. Because my nosy kids going to then roll down the window because they like to be eavesdropping. They roll down. Said, yeah, you've seen me at all your events, and I've even sat out. I sit out sometimes on your steps when you have in church. Now, those of you that have been to church and rehab in person know I'm not making this up. There's a guy that sits on our steps when we have church. He won't even come in. And the crazy thing is, he has told me that he won't come in, get this, because he never felt like he was able to come in a church. But when he walks by, he can hear the singing, he can hear the preaching, he can hear all of that, and it always resonates with him, but he sits outside. I beg this guy, come in the church. I'm not making this up. If Tyrone Watkins is on the call, he can attest to this. Jay may know this story as well. I'm not making this up about this guy. He sits on our front porch all the time. So the guy says, yeah, I say, yeah, I know you. Mr. Herbert would know him too. I know you. I knew you from somewhere. He said, yeah. He said, listen, I ain't want none. He said, but I wanted to let you know. He said, the trash cans that are on the side. Yep. Thank you, Bunchy. He's even donated money at these giveaways. He said, the trash cans that are on the side of the building, our trash bins are on the side. He said, I want you to know that since y'all have been out, I'm the guy that's been pulling y'all's trash to the curb. So if there has been some trash in there, whether y'all put it in there, he said, I know sometimes people ride through, they drop trash in the parking lot. I'll get it up. I'll put it in the dumpster. And when it's your trash day, I roll the trash cans out to the sidewalk. When they come and get it, then I roll the trash cans, roll it back from the street. And it's a nice little haul. If you've been to my church, you know I ain't making this up. I roll it from the street back to the side of the building. He said, I've been doing it. I said, you've been doing that for us? I said, yeah. I said, listen, man, I can't say thank you enough. I can't say thank you enough. Every single week he takes our trash out. He's never set foot in our door. He don't even feel worthy to come into church. And our church literally accepts everybody. He sits on the steps, listens to the preaching and the teaching and the singing, and never step foot in the building, and takes our trash out every week. Now, y'all measuring church impact because it's 1,000 people in there. But most of them folk ain't working unless they getting a paycheck. Don't y'all come for me. I'm ready tonight. Y'all measuring impact by how many people and how big the building is. You know what I'm measuring impact by? I'm measuring impact by a guy who ain't even a member of my church, who ain't even been in my church, who has shook my hand maybe 2 or 3 times, who literally works for my church and ain't asked for nothing. And don't even want to come in the church because he don't feel like he's worthy to be in there. And I said to him, I said, man, I don't know when you walk back through. Now that I know that I don't even know what our trash day is. Pastor borderline spoiled. I'll admit it. My guys, Herbert, the guys, they really take care of a lot of the things that I would normally have to do. I don't even know what our trash day is. But now that I know it's Tuesday, I'm rolling back up there on a Tuesday so I can see him. Because I said, I'm going to come back up here. And when I see you, I'm going to put some dollars in your pocket. I don't need you to tell nobody what I give you. Just take it and go buy you something. You know why? Because he ain't had to do that. But let me tell you why he did it. It's called impact. When you know your purpose, you make an impact. And a lot of times the impact you making ain't going to make it to the cable news. See, I didn't get cute and go call the news station and say, hey, come interview this guy because he's been taking out our trash, because then it puts the attention on me. It's all good. That's impact most people will never hear about until I die. Y'all not listening to me. That's called purpose. And when you know your purpose, you make an impact. You don't need applause. You don't need none of that stuff. You make an impact for real, and your impact impacts how other people live. I'm done. I ain't even get to the 3 unexpected blessings of being misunderstood. I guess that means a part 2, but y'all not getting me in trouble tonight. This bless anybody? I didn't know it was going to be a part. Did this bless anybody? I got to go, y'all. I got to go. I promised my kids something tonight. I got to fulfill my promise. So I hope y'all forgive me. Tune in for part 2 next week. We're going to talk about this because I'm going to give y'all 3 unexpected blessings in being misunderstood. But I hope this is making sense to y'all already. You better find out what your purpose is and care less about what people think about your purpose, what they're saying about your purpose, how they feel about your purpose. You better care less about that and make an impact. Make an impact and let folk kick rocks. And when you do, you make real impact for real. Like, I don't know when I'm going to go. I know it ain't no time soon. I know it ain't no time soon. I don't know when I'm going to go. I don't know how big my funeral will ever be. I don't know everything that people will say about me. Well, I take that back. I do, because I'm very intentional in what I'm doing. But let me tell you something. It may not be the biggest funeral. It may not be the most people there, but I can make you this one promise. There's going to be a whole lot of people showing up at my funeral that ain't going to have no church clothes on. I'm going to say this slow so y'all can get it. There's going to be a whole lot of people at Dr. Zed Talley's funeral, and I'm not giving y'all a preview. Ain't nothing about to happen to me, so don't y'all freak out. You know, sometimes people be talking like this and then something happens. No, I'm good. I'm good. There's a whole lot more things I got to do, and I'm going to do. That's on my list that God going to let me do. That some of y'all going to be mad about. I'm good. But you better hear what I'm saying. You come to my funeral, you're going to see folks in suits there because I got professional experience. You're going to see folks in church clothes there because I didn't touch the church. And you're going to see folk off the street with their pants hanging down to their knees, with guns on their hips, walking by, holding tears, paying respect. And I don't care what none of y'all got to say. That last group means just as much to me as the first 2 groups. And that's on everything I love. You can believe it. So if you don't want to see them kind of people at my service, don't even come. Don't come. And that to me will be the flowers that let you know what kind of impact you make. You want to see somebody's impact for real? You want to see how broad reach their impact was? Check out their homegoing. If the crowd looked the same, that's all they impacted. Yep, and it's gonna be, you're right. It ain't gonna be just Kirk Franklin. You might hear some trap music when y'all walking in. You might hear. Some of y'all know what that is. The box. You hear? Don't even be alarmed. Pastor had that kind of impact. And guess what? I don't care what none of y'all think about it. I could care less what any of y'all think about it. Period. That's on everything I love because I know what my impact is. Let's pray. I want to pray for you. Bunch know who it is. I want to pray for you. It's called The Box. I want to pray for you tonight. I want to pray for you really quickly. We're going to sow a seed and I got to go. Email your prayer requests. I don't even have time to read them. You can type it if you do real quick. I can go back and check out the replay. Email your prayer request to info@REHABCC. I want you to connect your hands like this as a symbol of faith. Some of y'all need to make sure you tag 5 people in this and tell them this is 25 minutes they'll never forget. Connect your hands like this as a symbol of faith. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you for your word tonight. Wow. Thank you for being kind to us. Thank you for revealing to us the impact, the importance of understanding our purpose, walking in our purpose, and being comfortable in our own skin. I pray, God, above everything else, that you were glorified, that something was said that gave you honor, that gave you credit, that gave you the glory that you deserve. I pray, God, for every person watching this video, this on this live stream, that's watching the replay, that they would find the strength to be comfortable in their own skin, to be comfortable in the lane that you've designed for them, so that they can be everything you've called them to be. Now, God, for every prayer request that will come through the line, that will come to the inbox, that is spoken and unspoken literally tonight, I ask that you would speak to the hearts of your people. You know what they need. You know what they desire. You know what it is that they want from you. I pray, God, that you would answer prayers as only you can. Make this a week that is filled with miracles, exceeding and abundantly above all the things that we could ask or think. I thank you, God, because you're still a prayer answering God. You're still a way making God, a miracle working God. And I pray now, God, not for me, but for every person tuned in and everybody attached to every person that's tuned in, that you would make ways in their lives like you absolutely never had before. We thank you for these things and count them done in Jesus' name. Amen. Really quickly, I want you to type it in. It is so. Quickly. Type in the comments. It is so. I'm getting up the graphics. We're getting ready to give. I want to challenge you to sow a seed. I know pastors rushed through this tonight. I hope y'all understand. I've got to honor my word to my children tonight. They're going to kill me if I don't. I want you to prepare to sow a seed. Absolutely. I'm praying for these prayer requests. I will go back through this prayer request. I want to make sure I read these requests that come through. I want to challenge all of you right now. If this message has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to sow a seed tonight. You can give one of three ways via Cash App. You should see it on your screen. Moderators should have it up now via Cash App, $REHABCC, give, website, www.rehabcc.org, or by simply texting REHABWORKS to 88202. You can do either of these three things tonight, and you can be a blessing to our ministry. I want to challenge you to give. Do not let the pandemic, do not let difficult times stop you from giving. I hear what I'm saying. Don't let it stop you from giving. You've got to understand that part of being able to attract what it is that you desire in your life is being willing to give. You've got to get everything that we believe as believers starts with giving. For God so loved the world, not that he took, not that he accepted, he gave. Everything starts with giving. I want to challenge you all to give tonight. I want to challenge you all to be a blessing to our ministry. You know what our ministry is about. You know how we impact. I don't have to sell you tonight. I'm going to challenge you to be a blessing. And I promise you, if you do that, God's going to bless you. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over. He will send people. I'm a living witness. I can't wait to give y'all a testimony in a few weeks of just the tremendous things that have been happening for me over the last 2 to 3 weeks that are mind blowing. I can't wait to share it. It's going to bless you in a tremendous way. So I want to challenge you to give tonight and be a blessing to us. And I promise you, God will bless you. Listen, love you guys. Praying for you. Part 2 next week. The secret power of being misunderstood. Join us Sunday morning, 9:08 a.m. sharp for a powerful word. And I promise you, it's going to bless you in a tremendous way. All right. Listen, thank you in advance for being understanding, for allowing Pastor to be a good daddy. I believe in that. I love each of you. I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. I want you to have a phenomenal week. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by Cash App at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encourage, enlighten, and empower you to be better. Please tune in Sunday at 9:08 a.m. for our Sunday morning experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.